would be we would not be acting in the best interest of the landowners to do what, to follow through on that motion as now if he wishes to modify it, to give us a chance, Trustee Bitton, you're nodding, to give us a chance to become, so that we understand what we are agreeing to, that's a different story.
Okay.
Can I comment?
Yes, quickly.
Just quickly on this. If this wasn't held up by the provincial government and the permits, we would have a water filtration system in place by now under this contract. When I originally talked to the people who were involved negotiating this contract, there was lawyers involved from the board. There was a lawyer involved from KIP. They both come to this water agreement. Both lawyers come to this water agreement, and not us as individuals. And they also, once it was agreed upon, it actually went to the regional district, and I'm sure their lawyers saw it and agreed with it. And that's why I come to this conclusion that, you know, let's find out if it's in effect, then we should go forward. We have a 2018 mandate by VHA. This thing, 5 years ago, it's been blocked. We've talked about it. We've kicked the whole bloody thing around for 5 years now. We should, in my opinion, we should have a water filtration system in place by now and moving forward and bringing Union Bay forward.
I would move an amendment to the motion. To Trustee Loxham's motion, I would like to make an amendment that the water infrastructure agreement be forwarded to our lawyers to determine whether or not it is or is not in effect. It needs to be a decision made by a lawyer.
I agree with you.
Okay. Would you make that amendment to your motion?
No, I said right in my motion that Mr. Peter Johnson will tell us right now if we're going forward with our legal counsel, Mr. Peter Johnson, who was involved with the original water infrastructure agreement, so should know this agreement inside and out. Should at least going through the council that knows this, should go ahead and he'll tell us right now if it's in effect. We're hearing from third persons all through here about its expired agreement. Well, the force majeure clause is in there, people, and it's been agreed with from lawyers from both sides, plus the regional district. It's time to go forward and move on.
The question, if I could clarify my amendment to your motion, was to have the expired water agreement put forward to our lawyers for a written legal opinion on whether or not it is in effect. Not to renew the expired agreement, but to ask our lawyers whether or not this agreement is currently in effect.
You agree to that amendment?
Well, no, because in the
Let's, we've got a motion on the floor here, and we will now call for a vote on the motion. It was put forward by Trustee Loxham, seconded by Trustee Bitton. So we will now call for a vote on the motion. Those in favor of the motion, raise your hands.
I cannot vote on a motion which is procedurally wrong.
Those opposed to the motion, raise your hands.
Could you read the motion back, please?
The motion is basically...
Here, you want to read it? All right.
I want the motion read.
Okay.
Kevin.
Perhaps you could read that for the edification of the whole board.
So it appears that Trustee Loxham's motion is to instruct myself as administrator to contact our legal counsel, Mr. Peter Johnson, within the next 3 business days with instructions to contact legal counsel for 34083 Yukon Inc. and Kensington Island Properties, communicating the intent of this board to enact force majeure clause granting the requested time extension to the water infrastructure agreement dated April 8th, 2011.
That is an improper.
I'm not calling for a vote on the motion. Those in favor of the motion, raise your hand.
Chair, I still don't understand the motion.
I think you understand.
No, I don't. Could you request an extension?
No, to communicate the intent of the board to enact the force majeure clause granting the requested time extension.
So what is the requested time extension?
The question, how it's been tied up with provincial government, how long it's taken from the provincial government to permit Kedgington to go forward with the.
So in your motion, what is the requested time extension for the contract?
It was a 6-month extension originally,
So
as I understand.
So that.
That's my
so that should be
understanding.
in the motion?
I think that's part of, no, I think it's part of the legal, that's why we have a lawyer. As part of the legal, to find out that, I think it's actually over 2 years, actually.
We're calling for a vote, and show of hands will suffice.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I would just like to provide some administrative perspective.
Okay,
I will agree it is somewhat irregular for this motion to come to the table, given the board has not had an opportunity to sit down and thoroughly review and be brought up to speed with the multitude of moving parts that are currently in play. We have had one or at least 2 legal opinions to date, and certainly the opinion of the regional district that this agreement is in fact expired. We also do have a process in place with the province, i.e. the provincial facilitator. The board has also not had an opportunity to meet with VHA as yet to discuss this very critical, very complex issue. We also do have a recent motion put forward by the regional district as of September the 20th that is requesting negotiated revisions to the master development agreement. And given that the time frame with respect to any potential delay by the province on the development is still very much unknown, because we've never been provided any evidence that an agreement is in place with the province as yet. My personal expertise and opinion says that there's a number of things to discuss.
Yeah.
And again, if the board's desire is to have a new water agreement with the developer, I'm certainly prepared to go along with that. All I would ask is that we provide sufficient time to do due diligence with this new board to make sure a well-discussed and well-educated decision is put forward.
thank you, Kevin. However, I am bound by the rules here, and there has been a motion, and it is going to a vote. So I would ask that those in favor of the motion, raise your hands. Those opposed, raise your hands. Okay, for a time, as chair, I exercise my prerogative in voting for the motion, and the motion is hereby carried. Okay. Questions from the audience?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, could you tell me why the board is enacting the force majeure clause? Wouldn't that be the developer to prove that that clause is in effect? Why would the board be championing the developer?
As I understand it, force majeure clause can be enacted by either party. Next question.
And you know that for a fact, you're stating that for a fact?
I just have to say, I feel quite insulted that you've gone ahead and made that decision on basically one vote. You got it for on one vote. Just let me finish. I do not feel represented by the board.
Do you have a question, ma'am?
5 years.
Do you have a question?
Yeah,
What is your question?
my question is, do you think it's fair to socialize with the developer and then come?
That's not a question. Next question, please.
That's a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead. Susanna Kilger had a very good question to the board. With the water infrastructure agreement, is the lawyer going to spell out what it exactly means? Do all of you know what the legalities is behind there? Because I tell you what, if there's something in there that turns into another Naramata thing or something from another district that we will be spending money to provide the developer with water, it ain't gonna happen. You will be sued.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
agree.
Any more questions?
Peter?
You guys gonna
Will the
be soon-
community meetings be,
Cool.
that are formed, will they be open to the public to be, to sit as an audience?
Yes. Okay, it's adjourned.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Not only the ratification, I hope so.